Hello, hello my gods and goddesses, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be discussing a topic that's in my title right now that reads, would you let your child transition at 3 years old? So what came to this topic is that Mario Lopez was on the Candace Owens show. I don't know if y'all don't know them, but if you don't, okay, that's good, because sometimes these celebrities are just like irrelevant. They're too irrelevant enough not to even mention them. And Candace Owens, she's not a celebrity. She's just controversial. So anyway, Mario Lopez was asked about something. I think it was about Charlize Theron's child. When she did an interview when her 3-year-old son, now daughter now, said that at 3 years old that he came up and said that he did not want to be a boy, or he says I'm not a boy, or whatever he said to her, whatever he said. And then I guess Charlize Theron took that literally, and now has her daughter now wearing dresses and like braids and stuff like that with beads. And Mario Lopez said his opinion about it. He said that a child as young as 3, like, coming up to you, claiming that, hey, I'm not this, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy, or I'm a boy, I'm not a boy, I want to be a girl. And he's like, he said so far as trying to transition a child at 3 years old. Like, he says, in my opinion, like, as a parent, that's a bit dangerous. And he says that it's really not safe for that child. So basically what Mario was saying, that at 3 years old, it's really not safe to have your child transition that young. It's really not safe. Like, wait until they're older, until they understand the concept of gender and understand gender identity and what it means to be trans. Because in my personal opinion, guys, okay, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old does not know anything about gender identity, what it means to be trans, and what the changes you have to go through in order to get to being the gender you want to be. And Mario was not malicious. He did not bash gay people. He did not bash trans people. He said it in the most respectable manner, but sadly enough, people took it way too far. They took it to the utmost extreme, and basically bashed him. They tried to get this man fired. They have told the people who's in charge that hired him, they'll get him off the air, and he's transphobic, he's homophobic, he hates trans people, and we want him fired. And I think that was just way too far. No, I don't think it was too far, period. Okay, that was just way too far for people to take what he say and then say that, oh, this man's transphobic, this man's gay, he must be stopped. And Mario didn't say anything malicious. He didn't say that trans people are not people too. He didn't disrespect trans people. He was not malicious with anything he said regarding that topic. He was very respectable. He was, like I said, he was very respectable. And some people just got really sensitive about it and try to get this man fired and try to get him kicked off of, like, I think he's hired, like, on a show. They try to get this man kicked off and try to get him fired. In my opinion, it's dead wrong. That is dead wrong in my opinion. You can have an opinion about something, but when you try to get somebody fired over an opinion, like, come on now, like, let's think reasonable, people. Let's think with some logic here. All right. trying to get somebody fired over an opinion, that's just too far. That's way too far. People need to stop. Okay, you don't have to agree with it, but don't. But when you're trying to affect somebody's livelihood, that's too far. That's way too far. I don't care what no one else say. It's way too far, in my opinion. It is. What I feel about it is that, in my opinion, no, I do not believe a child should be transitioning at such a young age, and I firmly stand by that. I feel like children should get to an age where they can understand what it means to be trans, what it means to have gender identity, because I've seen stories of parents, not only that they're transgender, but their kids are transgender too. Even as young as the age of 3, at the age of 2, even 5. There's even people who are calling their babies babies. They are saying that they're trying to basically say that their babies are non-binary, and they said that, my baby doesn't identify with any gender, they're non-binary, and they're not a girl or a boy, they're babies. And I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool, whatever, even though I just don't think they're babies. Babies don't know anything about that. It's just calling them non-binary. It's like, aren't babies like, babies don't even know who they are when they're just babies. They're just there. They just there to try to just chill, eat, have a little bit of attention, and just live their best life as babies. Like, calling them non-binary, that's just too much. And in my opinion, I've seen videos of not only transgender parents are like trying to like seem like their children are transgender too, which I don't know about that. I don't know, guys. Some of these transgender parents are like, some of them, I've seen videos of transgender parents trying to have their kids be transgender as well, and I just hopefully that it's not being pushed on them. Like, in my opinion, you cannot say that, oh, my child does not have a label, but you go label them anyway. So not only talk about, oh, I don't want my child to be labeled as a boy or a girl, they're this way, they're non-binary, or they're transgender. Like, you're already putting a label on your child. So even though you don't want your child to have traditional gender roles, and I just feel like, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want your child to have traditional gender roles, that's completely fine. But don't say that you don't want your child to not have any labels, but in the meanwhile you're placing labels on your child, and you should not put that responsibility on that child. Kids will be kids. Let them be kids, all right? Let children be children. At the end of the day, kids will have that choice to make when they are older. And in my opinion, I just hope Charlize Theron, just like the rest of these parents, are not forcing this onto their child. They're not forcing this or pushing it onto their child. That's why there are people that are saying there's an agenda being pushed, but it's by mainstream in Hollywood. And to be honest, guys, like, I would not be surprised, because Hollywood does a lot of dirty stuff behind the scenes. Like, Hollywood is just like a dirt ball of just garbage water in general. Just like, Hollywood is just straight up filled with garbage people. It is. So I would not be surprised. And it's not far-fetched, to be honest. It's not far-fetched, because people do push a lot of things. Okay? In my opinion, let your children be children, okay? I'm pretty sure, people say that kids can feel that something is wrong with them, or they feel like they're at a really early age, and it's fine. But in my opinion, that Kids should not be transitioning at the age of 3. No, that's just way too young. Not even transitioning at 5 or even 6. Like, they should get to the mind of understanding and what it means to be transgender and what it means to have gender identity. That should not be placed or forced onto your children. Like an example I saw in a video, that this transgender parent was actually trying to convince his daughter that, hey, since you play guy sports and you wear guy clothes, that means you're transgender. And it really does not. That's not even actually how the way it is. Just because you wear guy clothes, just because you play sports, does not make you a transgender person. It doesn't. Because I've met a lot of tomboys who are not transgender. Some of them are lesbian, some of them are bi, and there are transgenders. But, just because a little boy is playing with dolls, don't mean he's going to be transgender. Okay? That doesn't mean that, because, I've watched kids during daycare, and there's always little boys like playing with dolls and stuff, but that doesn't mean they're going to be transgender when they grow up. Some of them little boys, even so much as just like rip the Barbie dolls' heads off and just throw their bodies like across the room. Like, it's like they play with the dolls, but like I've seen a little boy, he played with his Barbie doll, ripped the head off and just threw the body across the room. Just oof, like disrespected the whole doll in general. So my opinion is, let kids grow up and let them figure it out for themselves, okay? It's not your job as a parent to force that on them at such a young age, okay? Let kids be kids and let them figure it out for themselves. It is not good to force things onto your child so much as gender identity and roles, basically, like gender roles and stuff like that. Don't say you don't want your child to have traditional gender roles, but you're still trying to label your child. You don't want to label your child with traditional gender roles because that's what society has placed upon us, but then want to label your child as non-binary as a baby and label your 5-year-old as non-binary when they don't know nothing about it at all. Wait till they get older. Wait till they understand what it is, do research, and if they do come to you and say that they want to transition into a girl or they feel that they are boy, because there are transgenders who feel like they are boys and are girls that are women and men and they want to transition. So if your kid comes up to you and say, hey mom, I feel like I'm a girl, I feel like I'm a boy, I want to transition, this is who I am, that's when you do research and take them to therapy, because it's not easy, y'all. It's not easy. That's why therapy support is important, okay? Let them figure it out. Don't push it. Don't force it. Don't do none of that. Transition at 3 years old, in my opinion, is a no-go. And one more thing before I go. After the backlash from Mario, sadly enough, he went back to apologize, and in my opinion, he shouldn't have had to apologize. In my opinion, if you gotta apologize for your opinion, then it makes you a coward. I don't care what no one says. It is what it is. It makes you a coward. It makes you don't even stand by what you say. If you have a strong opinion about something, and if you say it, stand in it. Stand by what you say. Don't backpedal. Don't do the Michael Jackson moonwalk. Don't do none of that. Because if you do all that, in my opinion, it just makes you a coward and you don't have balls. Like, I'm sorry, Mario Lopez, you don't have balls. You don't. You don't have any sort of balls at all. And I'm just sad. I'm sad for it. I'm really sad for it. And it sucks. Okay? And in this day and age, we cannot have an opinion without people getting in their feelings, without getting upset, or without dragging people too. You gotta drag somebody to get your point across. That needs to stop. Sorry, that needs to stop. Stop dragging people. It's not that deep. It's not. Stop dragging folks. Okay? It is not that deep for you to try to drag somebody over an opinion that you don't agree with. You don't have to agree with Mario Lopez's opinion, but trying to get this man fired, just dragging him, calling him transphobic, homophobic, when he wasn't none of those things, is just out of line. Now, I think that there's other reasons why people are trying to get rid of him, but that's just for a different video. That's a different video, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting, okay? And I'm just so sick and tired of it. I am. It's annoying. It's really stupid. Okay? There's too many sheep in this world. The cancel culture, I said before my previous GoddessSpeaks video, is trash. The cancel culture is trash. The sheep mentality is trash. Let people have an opinion. As long as it's done in a tasteful and respectable manner, nobody should not be getting upset. Okay? You can feel how the way you want to feel, but let me have my opinion. If I don't drag you, you don't drag me. And that's it. That's how I feel. Okay? Some people may not agree with this video. Some people may get upset, but at this point, I don't care. In the words of Choice TV, unsubscribe, okay? The dislike button is always there. The unsubscribe button is always there. I will not cater to anyone's feelings on this channel. Like, this is how I am. This is how I personally feel. I'm doing it in the most respectable manner as I possibly can. Hey, if people still take offense to this video, it is what it is. And I'ma just log off now. That's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. Let me know what y'all comments are in the comment section down below. Okay? Let's all be adults here. Or let's all be respectable. Okay? And yeah, that's it. That is it. Charlize Theron. Hopefully this is not something she forced onto this child. Hopefully this is not something that she forced onto him. And I just don't think a 3-year-old's words should not be taken literally, and that's just how I feel. I'm trying to be optimistic about it. Let your kids be kids and let them decide for themselves. It's not your child to force that upon them. And I just kind of feel like she just forced it upon her child. That's how I feel. And Mario Lopez, you should have just stood by what you said. And you just don't have balls. And that's it. Let me know what you guys think. And I will talk to you in the next video.